Hi, it's Mitch from PickDogs.com and SportsChatPlace.com, and I'm here with the Puck Dogs. And, right before the show, I was just saying, I said, you guys killed it yesterday, and it was dead silence. So I said, you guys killed it yesterday, and it was dead silence. And then it was, you guys killed it yesterday. And Chris said, I was doing backflips in the hallway. I'm just trying to stay humble. I said, hopefully he had pants on. He said, no. I said, and now people wonder why I'm always in such a bad mood. It's like, start your day with that visual, which probably will stick with me for quite some time, unfortunately.
Not sad about it.
But how you guys doing today? Because absolutely killed it yesterday. I mean, absolutely. We've had some great days on the show, but I think your hockey picks yesterday, that could have been your best day ever on our show, combined. I think you guys were. There's 10 games. I think you guys hit 8 or 9 of them, and parlayed all the right ones together as well. I think you both hit your bird cages, right? So if you watched yesterday's show and you didn't bet hockey, or you bet hockey and you didn't win, I never say this. I rarely say this stuff. Not my fault. This one I'm gonna have to put on you. It's like, yeah, it's always like I lost. It's like, but we gave you 9 out of 10 games the winners, and we didn't even give a pick on the other game. I know, but I threw in Nevada in my parlays. It's like I threw in Nevada money line in my parlay, like, and that's my fault. How? It's like, oh man. This is what we do, but got a good card. College hoops. We're getting into that daytime weekday sports, and of course, next week is when it really gets rolling. I'm trying to plan out a trip to Vegas for the opening round of the NCAA tournament, and I'm struggling because it's like, I don't want to stay out there the whole weekend because I just have too much going on here. And then the other side of it is like, if I come home one of those days, like I was trying to catch a red eye from Vegas on on Saturday morning, so I'd be home for the Saturday and Sunday games, and it's like then I'd miss the live show. So it's like I'm not going to do that. Not during March Madness. I love March Madness. It's like this is like why we do the show. It's like I'm going to be on all freaking day. It's like I'm going to be on half times of March Madness. There's like so many games going on at once. I'm going to be on like 15 times a day. You guys are going to be sick of me. It's going to be like Breeders' Cup Day. Too much. Too much, Mitch. Way too much. Most people think a little bit is just about right. But today we got just a little bit of NHL compared to what we've seen in the last few days. Yesterday, of course, that massive card that these guys just absolutely destroyed. The NHL tapped out and said, we're just going to play 6 today. Can't afford to stay in business after that one. We got the Canucks back in action, though. So,
yeah.
Our happy Friday. Rod's got like the motion. I'm more like the up with people.
Jumps out of the water, and I was like, "We
gotta get Chris a move." And that takes me to Nashville, where the Coyotes are playing. Where the Devils are up against the Blues.
I'll find something.
Oh, man. Anyways.
I can start scratching my head when the Wild are playing because we don't understand the logo.
It's like, what the hell's up with those Wild? Anyways, keep winning. Blackhawks, Red Wings, Blackhawks are now 31-28. We talked about the struggle to stay above 500. And looking square in the face here at 32-28, 4 games over 500, being a playoff team, right? Nothing the NHL wants more than that. Even if they take on the number 1 seed in the opening round, what's going to be a bigger ratings than the Blackhawks against the number 1 seed? It'd probably be the most highest rated series of the entire playoffs. The Red Wings, though, only plus 140 in this game. That looks a little suspicious to me, especially the way the Hawks have been playing recently. Got the Blues and the Devils. Vegas up against Winnipeg. I think Vegas has been favored in this streak that they've been on. They're on a heater. I mean, no doubt about it, man. They are on a heater. They've been favored every single one of these games, though, which is weird because normally at least you catch a little bit of value somewhere, but not any to be found. Then we got the Flames against the Coyotes, the Leafs against the Ducks, and the Canucks against the Avalanche.
Yeah.
Chris, anything out there that's just, I mean, any comments on the Red Wings, Blackhawks, or anything else out there today? Because it's like, I don't know.
To be honest with you, there are 5 games on this card that I'm looking at, and I'm even giving them 6.
So you're treading lightly after yesterday's stampede of the book. You're gonna figure, I'll just play it conservatively and just count my money. It's like,
very late, like bull in a china shop light.
I love the people that say you can only bet 2 games a day. It's like if you can only bet 2 games a day, you never had a day like yesterday. Then it's like, it's impossible to have a day like yesterday. Then.
Yeah. Do you want me to go through all 6, or do you want me to do 3 and 3, or?
Rod, what are you gonna do? You gonna do all 6 or?
I just do all 6.
All right, let's run through them. Go all 6.
All right, so start. I like St. Louis in regulation against the Devils. St. Louis is just on fire right now. I think they're winning streaks at 8 games, and the Devils have been playing better hockey, but I don't think they keep up here. So I'll take St. Louis in regulation. I know that price does look fishy, but I'm still going to stick with Chicago in regulation, -115 against the Red Wings. Detroit's, like I said, if you're not named Montreal, Detroit's not beating you. So I'll take Chicago in regulation. I'll take Vegas -135 against Winnipeg. Again, another spot where Vegas is favored during this winning streak, but I just think that I'm not trying to step in front of Vegas right now, especially with a low price. Right or wrong, I'll lay the juice with Vegas. I'm going to take Arizona +120 against Calgary. I think the Coyotes come out here showing they're a more desperate team. I mean, they're 2-10 in their last 12 on the road. Calgary 2-6 their last 8 at home. Like I said, I think Arizona's more desperate here, and I trust Arizona's goaltending right now more than I trust Calgary's. So I'll go Arizona at plus money. And I like Colorado -125 against Vancouver. I just think Colorado's the better team here, and I don't think Thatcher Demko is going to be the solution to Vancouver's goaltending woes for the next little bit until Jacob Markstrom comes back. So I'll go Colorado -125. And I'm going to go under 6.5 for the Toronto-Anaheim game. Toronto's on a back-to-back. They couldn't get on the scoreboard last night against the Kings. And Anaheim, just not a team that I'm looking to get behind for offense. So I'll take the under 6.5.
Rod, how about you? You've been Rod's the king of the birdcage. He's not the unofficial king of the birdcage. He is the king of the birdcage. I mean, I don't think I've seen somebody hit this many 3-team parlays over a 2-week span in my entire life, and I've been doing this my entire life. So, hats off, man. It's like I never go out there and claim to be the best, and now there's no way I possibly could do that. But Rod, the mic's yours.
For me, I'm going to take the Blues in regulation, and then I'm going to take the Blues on the puck line as well. I think they got a chance at the empty netter there, but I really like the Blues in regulation here to keep their streaker rolling. Blackhawks at Detroit. Give me the Blackhawks -1.5. I'll take them on the puck line. I think they can beat Detroit by a couple.
That doesn't look suspicious to you at all.
That Detroit's +145?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a little, but I still think I think the Blackhawks come in and get it. And that's maybe because of the back-to-back.
I don't know.
They figure that maybe.
I mean, I like the Blackhawks too here. And it's like I don't even watch hockey, but I don't watch hockey, and this thing, the way the Blackhawks have been playing recently. I mean, they're now 3 games over 500. This is a team that was battling to get to 500 and to stay over 500. Kind of like the Blackhawks are the Grizzlies, right? They're the same thing. It's like they're both in that 500 thing. And it's like all of a sudden now they're 3 games over 500. And here they are playing against. I mean, I hate to say this about the Detroit Red Wings, but they're the worst team in the league this year. Anyways,
Yeah.
it just to me it just looks funny. It just something looks funny. I would say minus 175 minimum here, but that's just me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then I'm looking at the Coyotes at Calgary. Give me the Coyotes here. I think the Coyotes, they look pretty good in Vancouver. I think they come into Calgary and squeeze out a win. Give me the Coyotes on the money line here over the Flames. And I'm gonna take a shot. Give me the Canucks. Give me the Canucks on the money line. I think they were right in that game, and it was close. I think they bounce back here and get a win at home. Give me the Canucks on the money line. And I ain't backing no Ducks team. Give me the Leafs on the puck line. And I think they win that game like 5-2, 6-2. I think the Leafs offense wakes up here. And give me the Jets at home. I'm going to take the Jets on the money line at home here. Vegas lost to the Kings 4-1 their last game out. And I think the Jets could get them to give me the Jets here on the money line.
We have a solid NBA card today. The NBA seems that with that Thursday is kind of the low key day, and then Wednesdays and Fridays are usually stacked. And the way the NBA is these days, and with so much talent across the board, it seems that every day we're getting these marquee matchups. Yesterday was the Clippers and the Rockets, and even the lesser games are almost elevated in the NBA because the product is just so good. I think of all the leagues out there, while the NHL playoffs I think are the best playoffs, I think the best day-to-day product is the NBA. I mean, it's like they seem to really have it down. It's just a lot of superstars that do a really good job with it. But today is the day, for the NBA, and it just so happens that the game's got a 10:30 p.m. Eastern time start on it to make it that it's going to be up against nothing, really. And that is the Lakers and the Bucks. And we could talk about the rest of the card all day long. The Wizards and the Hawks and the Thunder and the Knicks and the Magic and the Timberwolves and the Jazz and the Celtics and even the Pelicans and the Heat. But I know our audience, like me, I'm real excited to see this game. I'm really stoked about it, man. It's weird. It's weird because it's like, how many games I try to explain to people, that between Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs, we write up, the guys write up, 3,300 articles a month. Okay, I do personally 700 videos or more a month, plus the live shows. Right? But this is the type of game I'm still as excited as hell as if it's the only game on the schedule for like the past month. It's like I want to see this. And it's at LA. Man, Chris, what do you think of this thing? I mean, you plan on watching, or
yeah, I'm definitely planning.
You're going to go to the movies with your fiance tonight, or what? What's going on?
No, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay up and watch this one. I'll leave Netflix on until she passes out at about 10:30, 10:45, and I'll flip it right over to the game while she's asleep. But no, I'm staying up to watch this one. This is going to be a heavyweight fight of heavyweight fights that we've seen so far this season. It's going to be back and forth, but I don't even know if I can pick a side on this one. I think this could be even like a 1-point game. This could come down to the last shot.
I just think that this is the type of game where it's like, it's not necessarily, both these teams are going to the playoffs. And both these teams are likely going to be the number one seeds in their conferences. But this is the send a message game. It's I'll see you in a few months game, right? This is that one where it's like we know we can beat you because we did, And everyone's playing, right? Everyone's in for this one.
Give me the Bucks. Give me the Bucks +1. I'll take the Bucks. I think the world's the Lakers public people, and people will hammer the Lakers.
It's so weird that only 51% of the public is on the Lakers here. You would think that it would be a lot heavier at Staples, And I think a lot of people have seen what I've seen, is that when this Bucks team applies themselves and they're really focused and they're in it to win it, nobody could beat them, It's like not only can they not beat them, it's like if they decide to dial it in, even against the good teams, they can win by 20 or 30 points, It's like they're mad from last year. This is this is like they're playing like how you would hope the Tampa Bay Lightning would play. Maybe we would care more about them. But it's like generally teams that fall down in the playoffs don't, sometimes they play with purpose. Like, the Saints, remember they got screwed in the playoffs last year. And then, this year they went in there with just absolutely flat. They got bludgeoned, at home. I don't know, man. It's like, we'll see what happens in the playoffs. But right now, Bucks look dialed in. They just look dialed in. I mean, the Lakers, LeBron James, you can never, LeBron James is not the guy. He doesn't like to take. He doesn't like to take the last shot, right? Remember against the Warriors, it was Kyrie, right? And it's like he's never really been that guy. But one thing that's way underrated about him, and it's because he's so good in most areas of the game, is that his defense is fantastic. And it's like when he plays defense against someone this is going to be. It's got Anthony Davis, right, who's probably the best defender in the league, and LeBron James, who's probably 1A, as far as defenders. I mean, people talk about how great Michael Jordan was and his dunking and everything, but he was one of the greatest defenders to ever play the game. Michael Jordan just a different level. I mean, LeBron James is really not in that category with Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael Jordan, it was like in his contract that he has to get on the bus first. He had to be first all the time. It's like, it's true. Oh, man. I'm excited. Maybe we should come live at halftime of that sucker.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, we haven't done a halftime show in a while. That would be the one, huh?
Yeah.
All right. I'm in. If you guys want to join me, hit me up on Skype so you guys can come on.
Okay.
Should be interesting. Anyways, anything else here on the card, Chris? Is anybody else playing today?
I think there's a couple more games. I'm gonna look at it. Indiana minus 3.5 against Chicago. I'm just not trying to get anywhere near Chicago right now. And Indiana, even on the road with a reasonable line, I'll take Indiana minus 3.5. And I like Boston minus 2 at home against Utah. I just like the way the Celtics play at home. I think it's a low line. I think if you take the points, you're almost saying that Utah wins it outright, and I don't see it. I'll take Boston minus 2. I'll take the over 233.5 in the New Orleans Miami game. I can easily see this one hitting 240, 245 when all's said and done. And I'm going to take a shot with the Knicks plus 7 against OKC. And OKC's been rock solid against the number on the road this season. But they've failed to cover any of their last five numbers, and there's been some subpar competition in there to say the least. So I'll take a shot with the Knicks at home plus 7.
How about you, Rod? What else you like on this card?
Give me Utah plus 2.5 at Boston here. I think we're going to see an upset here today. Utah's all healthy, and I think they're going to start to play some good games here. Boston's all beat up. Who's playing? Who's not playing? Okay, give me Utah plus 2.5. I'm going to go against the public. Everybody's going to be all over Boston. Who else do I like? I like Indiana. Give me Indiana minus 3.5. Definitely not backing no Bulls. I also like Brooklyn. Give me Brooklyn minus 3 over the Spurs. Spurs are 0-5 ATS their last 5. They just haven't looked good at all. Give me Brooklyn -3. Orlando at Minnesota. I like the over 233.5 in that one. Orlando, their last 9 games have gone over. Minnesota's 9-3 in the last 12 to the over. Give me the over 233.5 in that one.
You good? Or
no, I don't want. One more.
all right.
But I didn't write. I didn't. Oh, that's what. I didn't write down who they were playing, so I can't be like, "Hey, they're playing this team." I was like, I can't remember who they're playing. Give me Portland -3.5 over the Suns. This Suns team just looked garbage. This will be Lillard's second game back. I think they can cover this -3.5. Give me Portland -3.5. Over a Suns team that lost 6 straight at home. Yeah, give me Portland here.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think the Suns are just really not playing well. That's for sure. They have not looked good. We go to college hoops. We got a pretty decent card here. It's not gigantic, but as far as Fridays go, man, I like it. It's a lot better than most of the Friday cards. Normally on Fridays we get like an A10 game and maybe a Big Ten game or something. But this week we got some conference tournaments going on. We got a couple ACC games. We got a bunch of MAC games, and we got the SoCon tournament going on. Still the Mountain West tournament going on. Chris with that Wyoming call again, back-to-backers. I brought it up myself as well, and Chris Brown back on the court here, and I tell you, I kind of like Brown here. I know I love mocking you for taking Brown, but that might be the punchline this week because I really like him here against Harvard. I just think 10.5 is a ton of points. Harvard just can't cover. I don't know. It's such a weird team, right? It's like they win a lot of games. They might knock Yale off, but it's like you can't cover a spread to save their life. How many are you looking at in college hoops?
6 for me.
How about you, Rod?
8.
All right. Well, Chris, give us your first 3.
All right, first 3. I like my first one. I like Georgia Tech +4 against Clemson. I just really like the way Georgia Tech's been playing lately, and I don't know, 6-3 against number at home or in their last 10 games, 8-4 against number on the road this season. I don't know why everyone's on the world's on Clemson. I'll take Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech has a chance to win this one outright. I'm going to take Western Michigan +7 against Central Michigan. It's just these directional matchups, and I think it's going to be a war to the very end. And I think bottom line for me is I'm not laying 7 points with a Central Michigan team that's lost 9 in a row, especially in a rivalry game. So I'll take Western Michigan +7. And I'm going to go on the horse one more time. Give me Wyoming +15.5 against Utah State. I just think we always see 1 or 2 teams that kind of just rise to the occasion in the conference tournament. The run may end here, but I just think Wyoming's been playing really well right now. They're 9-1 against the number of their last 10. I think they can keep this one close too, so I'll take Wyoming +15.5.
I like it. They're just the hot hand, and it's like normally when you have the hot hand like that, you go down swinging. When you eventually go down, because eventually you just run into a better team. Most of the time, not always, but most of the time you run into a better team. But normally in those situations, they go down swinging. They do.
I might even put a little bit on the money line as well.
Yeah, no reason not to. No reason not to.
+950.
Yeah, no reason not to. Rod, what are you looking at?
First one up, I like Columbia at Princeton. Give me Princeton -11. That's their last 5, 6-1 straight up. Their last 7 at home. Columbia's 0-10 straight up. Their last 10, 1-11 in conference play. I think Princeton rolls them here. Give me Princeton -11. I like Samford plus the 4. Samford maybe only 2-16 straight up, but those two wins have come against BMI. They beat them twice already this year. Give me Samford. I can see that continuing again. For some reason, have Samford plus the 4.5, and I'll take a little on the money line on Samford. Wake Forest and NC State. Give me NC State here, -7.5. I know it's a bigger number, but NC State needs this win huge, and then they're 13-1 straight up at home. Wake Forest 0-7 straight up. Their last 7 on the road. Give me NC State here, -7.5.
Chris? Well, let me throw in a couple here, too. I like Georgia Tech plus at Clemson. I like Georgia Tech money line in this game. Plus, no need to take the 4 points. They've been the better team recently, and I know Clemson has shown flashes here and there, but not today. Not going to happen. Not on my watch. I also like Buffalo on the money line as well. Chris, back to you.
I like Missouri State -2 against Indiana State. I mean, it's not often you see a 3 seed as a dog against a 6 seed, but this is essentially a home game for Missouri State with the Missouri Valley tournament being played in St. Louis. So I'll take a shot with Missouri State laying the 2 here. I'm going to take Wofford -14.5 against the Citadel. The Citadel they hemorrhage points left and right. They're giving up 84 points a game in conference play, 82.6 in their last 5 games.
First usage of the word hemorrhage in the history of our live show.
The Citadel, they can't stop anybody right now.
We've heard hot mess. We've heard straight garbage. We've heard hemorrhage.
Decided to break that one out. It was on the word of the day calendar.
Nice.
Yeah, but I just think Wofford. We haven't seen the Wofford that we've seen in years past, but I think what they're bringing to the table is enough to want the Citadel here. So I'll lay points with Wofford. I think Terriers win it by 20, and I'm gonna take Siena plus 1.5 against Monmouth. Siena's just playing some of the best basketball in the MAC right now, and they're trying to hold off St. Peter's. St. Peter's has a favorable matchup against Iona today, so if Siena wants to clinch the MAC, I think they have to win this game today. So I'll take Siena plus 1.5. I think they've got more at stake here.
I think they're just a better team. They're just playing better right now. It's close, but Siena's been on a heater, right? Kind of like Rod Zawacki's been on the heater with the bird cages. Rod, what are we looking at?
What else I like here? Give me Eastern Michigan plus the 6 at Toledo.
Love it.
Toledo's 2-11 ATS at home this year. Give me Eastern Michigan over Toledo there.
Rod and I generally go with that same. Let's bet against the teams that really stink. Like they stink. It's like you go to bet on it. It's like you put it bet and it's like no, they really stink. It's like let me search around the desk and see if I can come up with anything else. It's like they really stink. It's like I start hunting around my desk. It's like most people have a change jar. It's like I have a desk. It's like you need a down payment for a new condo. It's like let me hunt around the desk here for a couple minutes. I found a check from 2 years ago that I didn't cash. It's like I had to call the people and my tail between my legs.
Call them up and be like, "Hey, I haven't talked to you in 2 years. Can I still cash your check?"
No, it's like they have to reissue it to you. So it's like because I was such a mess. It's like I have to put them out. It's like it's horrible, man. It's the worst. What else we got?
Give me Richmond -1 at Duquesne. I think Richmond's just playing the better basketball. I think this is going to be an outright war battle here. It's going to be a good game. Come down to 2 3 points, but I think Richmond can pull it out.
It's
They're
kind of
13
like
and 4
it's
in
kind of
conference
like
play.
Duquesne has been good, but not like
They
beat
don't
Richmond
have
good,
that.
right? It's like they've been good,
Yeah,
but not like beat Richmond. You know, it's like there's a difference, right? It's like we're good,
I had.
but we're not. You know,
Great.
Yeah,
they're like a
they're
better
not
version of
quite there.
Davidson or something.
Yeah, I like Richmond to beat Duquesne. I was on Duquesne last time, and they won outright. But I had Richmond going to win this game. Now, though, when I like give me Niagara plus the 6 points at Canisius. Canisius definitely has not looked the world beater this year at all. I know Niagara's not as good on the road, but 6 points. I think they come in battle. I think that's closer than 6 points. Give me Niagara plus the 6.
Is that everything?
No, I just try to find a number, see what the number is at here. I also like Davidson. I think Davidson wins today. Where's the number on
Against
this one?
VCU, 3.5 last I checked. Davidson minus 3.5 against VCU. Got let's see what happened here. Yeah, Davidson. So Davidson, Rod.
Yeah, I'm trying to find an over/under on
On which game? On this game? 136.5.
NIU, Ball State and NIU.
Ball State
It's
and NIU, the total 126.
Yeah, give me the under in that game. Ball State's 5-5 to the under. NIU's 8-3. They lost 11 to the under. I like the under 126.
Yeah, they
in that.
stuffed it way down there at 126. It's like the books are like trying to scare everybody off it.
Yeah, I like that 126 under.
So here's a question we have: any chance Furman and East Tennessee State both make the tourney? I would say no. I would say no because I think that I think the ACC just on name alone is going to get their number in. I think the Big East was super tough this season. I think even in the Big Ten, teams like Illinois and Wisconsin who came on late in the season kind of screwed it up for any of those other outside teams. And I think also teams like Richmond, are going to be a problem for a team like Furman or East Tennessee State if they don't win their tournament. I think in the Pac-12 also hot competition. I think some teams have died off there, but still we're seeing more teams in the Pac-12 than we've seen in recent years. In the Mountain West, it looks to be just San Diego State. In the A-10, I would say it's got to be, right? Don't you think that Richmond also goes?
Yeah.
I mean, with Dayton? I don't know. I'm not a bracketologist. I don't look at this stuff.
Right now, Richmond's the first 4 out.
The first 4 out, but I think they're in, man. I think Richmond is in. Let's see what they say. Last 4 in: Arizona State, Xavier, Indiana, and Cincinnati. God, I think, why is Indiana in?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think they should be in before Indiana.
Yeah, but that will never happen.
No, I know it won't, but I'm saying that's.
So Rutgers, Texas, Stanford, last 4 bye. I think Stanford might not be in too. Another team that could get bounced. But all these other teams are I would say, are solidly. And I think Texas has played their way in recently. St. Mary's, if they make an early exit from the West Coast Conference tournament, I don't see it. Maybe that's just me. Boy, they have Eastern Washington as a 16 seed. Who wants to play that, man? It's like, whew. Can you imagine that? It's like they go in there, right? You play Eastern Washington, and it's like you score 87 and still lose, It's like a number 1 seed scoring 87 and losing. I mean, very possible against Eastern Washington. Yeah, I don't really look at the bracketology. Normally I do this on the weekend. BYU, East Tennessee State is who they're calling to win that battle. Providence, LSU. I don't see a lot of wiggle room here. Tulsa, possibly, but not a lot of other wiggle room here. This is a really, really tight field. I mean, Florida's not going to get bounced. They're not going to bounce, West Virginia or Xavier. It's like I just don't see it. I don't see the mobility there. I don't see how Indiana's in though over Richmond at this point. I don't see it. Utah State's going to have to beat San Diego State. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they've had their chances. They beat Florida. All right.
Oh,
to answer your question, no.
My plus 950 comes in tonight with Wyoming. They're not getting in for sure against Utah State.
Oh man, I just don't see it. I think we had over in the Southern game. Let's see something. I deleted it. I believe our pick was over in that Southern game. All right. We'll have to find it in the trash. All right. Ready for a recap?
Yep.
Because the reason why I do believe the reason why I also believe that that's incorrect, that it was over, and when I said over is that I wasn't the only one. Other people in the comments today said 3-0 yesterday as well, so it wasn't just me. Anyways, let's do the recap. I got a lot of stuff to do. Got places to be, man. These are busy times for Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. I've been trying to be as candid as I can about what's going on behind the scenes, and it is just overwhelming. Anyway, speaking of overwhelming, the Puck Dog, Chris Ruffalo.
All right, so we'll start on the ice. I like St. Louis in regulation minus 115 against New Jersey. Chicago in regulation minus 115 against Detroit. Vegas minus 135 against Winnipeg. Arizona plus 120 against Calgary. Colorado minus 125 against Vancouver. And under 6.5 in the Toronto-Anaheim game. My 4-team parlay or round robin, whichever you want to spin it, all in regulation. St. Louis, Chicago, Vegas, Colorado. If you parlay them up, it's about 15-1. NBA, like Indiana minus 3.5 against Chicago, Boston minus 2 against Utah, over 233.5 against New Orleans, Miami, and the Knicks plus 7 against OKC. College hoops, I like Georgia Tech plus 4 against Clemson, Western Michigan plus 7 against Central Michigan, Wyoming plus 15.5 against Utah State, Missouri State minus 2 against Indiana State, Wofford minus 14.5 against the Citadel, and Siena plus 1.5 against Monmouth. Two more parlays. I like just college hoops. 3-team on the spread. I like Georgia Tech plus 4, Western Michigan plus 7, and Siena plus 1.5. I'm going to go do a cross-sport 3-team moneyline parlay. I'm going to go with the Arizona Coyotes in the NHL plus 120, Georgia Tech in college hoops at plus 160, and Siena plus 100 in college hoops parlayed together plus 1044.
All right, that brings us to Rod, the Birdman, Birdcage Zawacki, who's which week? Well, he is the Puck Dog as well, but he's also the king of the Birdcage. It's we didn't just give him that title either. He earned that thing.
Yeah. I'm going to start with the NBA today. Give me Brooklyn minus 3 over the Spurs. Give me Indiana minus 3.5. I like Orlando and Minnesota over the 233.5. Give me Utah plus 2.5 over Boston. Give me Portland minus 3.5 over the Suns. And I like the Bucks. Give me the Bucks plus the 1 over the Lakers. NHL. Give me the Blues to win in regulation. And I like also the Blues on the puck line. Give me the Blackhawks on the puck line over Detroit. Give me the Coyotes on the money line. Canucks on the money line. Jets on the money line. And the Leafs on the puck line. 3-teamer in NHL. All on the puck line. Give me the Blues, Blackhawks, and Leafs. All on the puck line there. College basketball. Give me Princeton minus 11. Sanford plus 4. Let's bring a little on the money line there. I like Eastern Michigan plus 6 over Toledo. Give me NC State minus 7.5 over Wake Forest. Give me Richmond minus 1 over Duquesne. Give me Niagara plus the 6 over Canisius. Give me Davidson minus the 4. Give me Ball State and NIU under 126. And for me, my college basketball birdcage today, give me Eastern Michigan plus 6, Richmond minus 1, and Niagara plus 6.
You heard it. If you don't win, it's not Rod's fault. I just got a little 3-team birdcage for you. Georgia Tech, Buffalo, and Akron. So a little overlap with the guys, but so what? They're winning. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Be sure to check out the websites. Be sure to do all that kind of good stuff. If you guys have any suggestions that you want to see on the show or things you don't want to see on the show, by all means, just shoot me an email, mitch@pickdogs.com or mitch@sportschatplace.com. Trying to change some things around a little bit. We got our T-shirt giveaway. It's always easier to give away the T-shirts when you're holding up the shirt. So it's like I'm kind of holding out and waiting for them to come in. But hopefully they'll be here shortly. Got a lot of other things going on behind the scenes. I've been reading all of your emails that you've been sending me. The people that want to write on the site, the people that want to do that. We're working on some things. I'm trying to navigate. We have some big projects that we're doing, and we don't have a lot of people. I'm just one person. So I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying what it is, the reason why. Certainly not an excuse, and it's not good enough generally. But I'm doing the best that I can. But we have our new premium capper site will be the next thing we release, and that will be multi-capper site where you'll be able to get Rod's best bets of the day, Chris's best bets of the day, and sort of like my best bets of the day a la carte, as opposed to just having to buy the subscription thing the way that we've been doing it, kind of the way that everybody else does it. It's something that I've done in the past. It just requires a little bit more tech work behind the scenes, and it's not as easy as it looks. It's definitely something difficult, but our guys more than up to the task. Got a few other things going on, and we'll get to those as we go, but we're thinking about one of the things we're going to take this show and take the audio portion and turn it into a daily podcast so you guys can grab it. You can have puck dogs with you everywhere you go. But I think that's something that's kind of long overdue. I was just looking for someone to help me automate that process because it's a simple thing to do. It's just I want to do it the way where you just push a button and it happens, as opposed to the way where you have to do it. I just don't have anything that can save us a couple minutes. But anyways, this is Mitch for the Puck Dogs. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to see you guys at halftime of the Lakers Bucks game. These guys want to come on with me?
I'll be there too.
All right, Rod will be there. Chris,
Yeah.
You coming on?
I'll join you. Yeah.
He's got a busy day tomorrow, I know, but we'll see.
I'll be here.
All right.
I can take a break.
I'll bring the pie. I'll see you guys halftime. Actually, see, for you guys, it'll be like a midnight snack. For me, it's like, just after dinner time, right?
No, you bring the popcorn. I'll bring the pie.
All right. I'll bring the popcorn. Sure. Even my dog Sam is ready for this one. We'll see you guys in 12 hours or so.